Of Bakersfield College Athletics.
For Sequoia's on the top of the seventh. No runs on 1 hit, 3 left. Through 6.5. Renegade 6. Sequoia's 2.
The following is a presentation of Bakersfield College Athletics.
And an opportunity here to drive in a couple of runs in the bottom of the 6th inning and extend this 7-1 lead.
And again, if he hadn't already had a couple of hits today, a couple of doubles, you'd probably see the hardest swing you'd ever see out of a guy early in the season, with a 2-0 count.
Here's the pitch. That one
that's all you gotta do.
Right past second baseman. And that's going to bring that's going to bring Brito and McDonald in. So 2 RBIs for Brady Baird. And Baird with 3 hits today, 2 doubles and a single, and a couple of RBIs. You're right, player of the game, huh?
That's an easy choice right there. And again, we got to find out how many RBI he has. On those first 2 doubles, were they bases empty?
First 2 doubles, he was the leadoff hitter.
Okay. Well, I'm glad to see he's got
pretty easy to figure out that wasn't him.
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, Landon McDonald has that hit. He's got a good eye for that rolling curveball.
There it is.
Even better for a fastball. That one right into the gap in center field.
He got a chance for 3. He's going 3.
And McDonald on his horse. He's going to make his way around second, and he'll be into third base standing up. Well, he could have stood up, but he slid anyway. And Landon McDonald with a triple.
Attaboy.
And 2 hits in the game today. And right now, the BC offense really needed a shot in the arm, and that's the one.
Just be able to slap the ball through the hole somewhere.
And that one driven once again into the gap in right center field.
That's a chance for 3 right there. 2 triples
and maybe another triple.
Oh, yeah, it is.
As McDonald comes across the plate, a run will score.
This will be an easy stand-up triple right here.
And Luke Shaw with another triple, 2 triples in a row. And BC
see if you guys
puts another run on the board. Now they lead 10-7.
If anybody watches that at bat right there, and what I was talking about with the 2-strike approach, is that what you're trying to be able to do is get a good swing on it. He didn't necessarily come out of his shoes for that. He's able to drive it into a gap somewhere.
1 ball, no strikes the count. And a curveball over to third base. And, a smart move.
Yeah.
And that one's just going to get thrown away.
Get over there, big man.
And O'Reilly heading into second. And he's going to reach second on an error.
And loose ball gets over to third. Good
curveball driven once
right
again,
there.
and it's tailing over.
Good.
That's going to be the second out, but O'Reilly is going to score easily as he lumbers down third base line. And 3 runs across here in the bottom of the 8th inning for the Renegades.
And again, O'Reilly really manufactured a lot of that run right there. He puts the ball in play, gets fortunate enough to be able to be busting it down the line to create a bad throw. Gets over to second, advances to third on a pass ball for being a big guy, sets up his the hitter up there to be able to have an RBI opportunity. Good job by Liam O'Reilly.
Catcher Jason Smith now up to bat.
The following is a presentation of Bakersfield College Athletics.
Ladies and gentlemen, Landon McDonald's home run, his 12th of the season, is now the all-time Bakersfield College Renegade season record holder for home runs. Congratulations, Landon McDonald. Batting fourth, first baseman number 5, Brady Baird. Liam O'Reilly.
The following is a presentation of Bakersfield College Athletics.
Back-to-back catches by Padilla. RBI triple, Lexi rolling. Brings up the designated player number 16, Ms. on the ready. And already scores Rollin with the go-ahead run. And the Renegades win their home opener 5-4.
The following is a presentation of Bakersfield College Athletics.
Scores the Toys on the top of the seventh. No runs on one hit, 3 left. Through 6.5. Renegades 6. Sequoias 2.
The following is a presentation of Bakersfield College Athletics.
And an opportunity here to drive in a couple of runs in the bottom of the 6th inning and extend this 7-1 lead.
And again, if he hadn't already had a couple of hits today, a couple of doubles, you'd probably see the hardest swing you'd ever see out of a guy early in the season, with a 2-0 count.
Here's the pitch. That one
that's all you gotta do.
Right past second baseman. And that's going to bring that's going to bring
Brito
and McDonald in. So 2 RBIs for Brady Baird. And Baird with 3 hits today, 2 doubles and a single, and a couple of RBIs. You're right, player of the game, huh?
That's an easy choice right there. And again, we got to find out how many RBI he has. On those first 2 doubles, were they bases empty?
First 2 doubles, he was the leadoff hitter.
Okay. Well, I'm glad to see he's got
pretty easy to figure out that wasn't him.
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, Landon McDonald has that hit. He's got a good eye for that rolling curveball.
There it is.
Even better for a fastball. That one right into the gap in center field.
He got a chance for 3. He's going 3.
And McDonald on his horse. He's going to make his way around second, and he'll be into third base standing up. Well, he could have stood up, but he slid anyway. And Landon McDonald with a triple.
Attaboy.
And 2 hits in the game today. And right now, the BC offense really needed a shot in the arm, and that's the one.
Just be able to slap the ball through the hole somewhere.
And that one driven once again into the gap in right center
field.
That's
a chance for three right there. Two
and
triples
it may be
in
another triple.
Oh, yeah, it is.
As McDonald comes across the plate, a run will score.
This will be an easy stand-up triple right here.
And Luke Shaw with another triple, 2 triples in a row. And BC
let's see if you guys
puts another run on the board. Now they lead 10-7.
If anybody watches that at bat right there, and what I was talking about with the two-strike approach is that what you're trying to be able to do is get a good swing on it. He didn't necessarily come out of his shoes for that. He's able to drive it into a gap somewhere.
1 ball, no strikes the count. And a curveball over to third base. And, a smart move.
Yeah.
And that one's just going to get thrown away.
Get over there, big man.
And O'Reilly heading into second. And he's going to reach second on an error.
And loose ball gets over to third. Good.
Curveball driven once
right
again,
there.
and it's tailing over.
Good.
That's going to be the second out, but O'Reilly is going to score easily as he lumbers down third base line. And 3 runs across here in the bottom of the 8th inning for the Renegades.
And again, O'Reilly really manufactured a lot of that run right there. He puts the ball in play, gets fortunate enough to be able to be busting it down the line to create a bad throw. Gets over to second, advances to third on a pass ball for being a big guy, sets up his the hitter up there to be able to have an RBI opportunity. Good job by Liam O'Reilly.
Catcher Jason Smith now up to bat.
The following is a presentation of Bakersfield College Athletics.
Ladies and gentlemen, Landon McDonald's home run, his 12th of the season, is now the all-time Bakersfield College Renegade season record holder for home runs. Congratulations, Landon McDonald. Batting fourth, first baseman number 5, Brady Baird. Liam O'Reilly.
The following is a presentation of Bakersfield College Athletics.
Back-to-back catches by Padilla.
Coming to you from the campus of Bakersfield College and Jerry Collis Field, you're watching Renegade Baseball on Go Gates Go on YouTube. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Tom Myers, joined by the Dr. Julian Wilson. And boy, are we going to have a fun one today, getting ready to watch the Renegades take on the College of the Canyons Cougars in a game that should be a good one. Both teams fairly matched right now. Cougars at 11-18 so far on the season, 4-6 in conference play. The Renegades 14-15 overall, just one game shy of 500, but they are 5-5 in conference play. And the winner really today would love to have the win and kind of go in the positive a little bit more, especially for the Renegades as they head down the stretch here in the final month of action here for the Western State Conference play. Logan Judd on the mound for the Renegades today. Judd making his 8th game start of the season with a 6.75 ERA. And right out the gate, he's going to face Ben Strutt, the center fielder. Strutt, the sophomore outfielder, 101 at bats so far on the season, batting .317. That one's fouled off, out of play. One ball, one strike. Pitch low. And the count's 2 balls, 1 strike. So I had a little conversation with Logan before the game. I've known Logan for several years now, a pitcher out of Frontier High School here in Bakersfield. He was immediately out of high school, had a scholarship to go play baseball at California State University, Bakersfield, but then had an injury that sidelined him for the year and then decided that he was going to come up here to Bakersfield College and kind of give this one a whirl. And he's done a pretty good job up here so far, really enjoying his time at Bakersfield College. But wow, what a lucky land for the Renegades getting Judd on the mound. A big guy, close to 6 feet, 225 pounds. That one's going to be popped up in the infield. And an easy one for Nick Martin, and one away here in the top of the first inning. So first baseman now Travis Van Ness up to bat. Van Ness batting .310 on the season with 1 home run. That one swung on and driven into left field, and a base hit for Van Ness, and a man on with 1 away in the top of the first. So Van Ness now on with a hit, and Reed Farrell coming to the plate. Farrell batting .342 on the season, a sophomore outfielder. He's in right field today. Shows bunt, pulls away. And the pitch called a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Farrell has appeared in 29 games so far on the season, the most of any player on the squad. He is tied, however, with Liam Ostrom and Kotaro Kuotani, who both also have 29 appearances. So one of the 4 players on the squad, Michael Hogan is another one, that have appeared in every game so far this season for the Cougars. An unusually chilly day today here. Swung on and driven foul. And the count goes to 1-2. Julian Wilson and I are having a conversation off camera, and I turned his volume back on. Sorry, Julian. We do have the center field camera working today, but it's a little choppy. And another base hit into the gap and into left field, and now 2 runners on and 1 out here in the top of the first. And Logan Judd having a little trouble handling the last 2 batters who have just driven that ball right through the gap. And now runners at first and second with Liam Ostrom, the designated hitter, coming up to bat. Ostrom batting .279. And again, he played in all 29 games so far this season. First pitch in there for a strike. Oh, and 1 the count. That one swung and fouled away over into the dugout there. So Judd ahead right now, and he's checking over with Blanco as shortstop, trying to hold that runner. Nick Martin kind of guarding second base. And he backs away. Pitch in the dirt. Jason Smith at catcher today. Smith has been swapping in and out with Tri Spainhauer at catcher for the season. So good to see him in the lineup. And it's good when you have 2 catchers during the season that you can rely on, especially that position gets a little tiring back there behind the plate. So being able to count on both of your catchers in a pinch, especially if one gets injured, and we don't know what the issue may be with Tri Spainhauer today. And strikes him out on a breaking ball. Logan Judd, and now 2 outs in the inning with runners at first and second and a chance to escape out of this one unscathed. And now Michael Hogan coming to the plate, the third baseman. First pitch swung on, just foul. Hogan, the freshman infielder, 120 at-bats this season, leads the squad with the number of at-bats. Batting .275 with 6 home runs. That pitch is outside and the count's 1-1. Fastball in the dirt, and the count goes to 2-1. That pitch misses, and now it's 3-1. Logan Judd trying to hang on to keep from loading up the bases with 2 outs here in the first inning. And usually the case with some pitchers, they just haven't settled in that first inning. If they can get out of that one, Martin over at second is going to field that one. And the Renegades are going to get away without any runs scored on them here in the first inning. Back with the bottom of the first after this. Leading off for the Renegades in the bottom of the first inning, Jordan Brito, the center fielder. And Brito, I'm a big fan of Jordan Brito. I think that I probably geek out on him quite a bit. Just a fantastic leadoff hitter for the Renegades, batting .314 this season. And he's got 7 stolen bases and leads the squad. You know, he's just a speedy guy. And, you know, right there showing bunt. Pulls away for the ball, and now it's 2 balls, no strikes the count. But it's been kind of, you know, one of those things. Jordan Brito, we got to watch him last year. This is his sophomore season, his final games this month for his career here at Bakersfield College, and looking forward to finding out where he moves on to. And now it's 3 balls, no strikes, the count. That one's going to be in there on the outside corner. And the count goes to 3-1.
I want to pay attention.
And that one's through the gap. It's right by the third baseman, Michael Hogan. And Baird aboard. Nobody out here in the bottom of the first. Nick Martin now coming up to bat. Martin batting .298 on the season. Keep an eye on Jordan Brito over at first base. Has the ability to take off. That one almost got away. And a good job by wrangling it by Travis Van Ness over at first base. So they may have gotten away with one there. Martin batting .298 so far on the season. So having a pretty decent time of it right now. Trying to advance Brito over at first base. Logan Judd got backed up a little bit. You know, did get a strikeout there in the first inning. But had 2 runners on and found a way to get out of the inning unscathed. It's going to pop out of the mid of Chris Kylato, catcher for the Cougars. But Brito wasn't really ready to go. And in some cases, and it's early, and I've seen Kurt Townsend put the hit and run on, that's going to be popped to the opposite field. Brito really moving, going to head over to third base, sliding in. He's going to be safe. And like I said, the speedy Jordan Brito finding his way all the way around the bases, gets from first to third on a base hit by Nick Martin. So 2 hits in a row for the Renegades so far.
And you do really like Brito.
Hey,
I tell you what, man. Wow.
Julian was just waiting for me to look at him to say that.
That's right.
Yeah, Jordan Brito, a number of different issues for why he is one of the most valuable players on this squad for the Renegades. His ability to lead off, get on base, and then find his way around those bases speedily. That's a very aggressive move on that base hit. Now, granted, it was a short one popped in down along the line by Nick Martin to the opposite field. So, really had an opportunity there and found his way just speedily running around second base. That one's going to be fouled off as Landon McDonald now up to bat. And Landon McDonald, another one of those Frontier kids that I've known for a number of years. McDonald, the record holder now for the Renegades with 14 home runs in a season. The previous record was 11. And I'm drawing a blank on who it was held by. I was told and I've forgotten. However, that was at 11, and so Landon doing a heck of a job. We're not even done with the third month of the 3-month season here, and he's already got 14.
And I hope he stays. But if he gets an opportunity, we're supporting him.
Absolutely. No balls, 2 strikes, the count to McDonald. And that one's fouled off out of play. And McDonald's got to hit into a double play, but a run will come across. So he did his job. And the Renegades on the bag first with 1 across here in the bottom of the first inning. Now Brady Baird coming up to bat, the first baseman. Baird batting .333 on the season. Baird fouls that one off to the opposite field, out of play. Chad Stanchfield on the mound for the Cougars today. That one's going to be in the dirt, and the count's 2 balls, 1 strike. Stanchfield with a record of no wins, 4 losses, and 8 appearances so far. Started in 7 games. He's got an earned run average of .858. In comparison, Logan Judd's ERA is over 6. So both starting pitchers. And at this level, usually, you'll find that the ERAs will be a little bit bigger than what, they have in the major leagues. Major league pitching, of course, a whole different game. That's going to be popped up to short. So 1 run comes across. And the Renegades draw first blood, back with the second. BC leading over Canyons 1-0. Back for the top of the second inning. Joey Bessemer leading off for the Cougars. Bessemer batting .264 on the season. Pitch hits the bottom corner. And the count's 0-1. We had a little technical difficulty that we've kind of gotten worked out. We've been dealing with that technical difficulty for a couple weeks now.
Yes.
But now we finally got the actual camera out in center field on the pitcher and the batter at the same time, and it's working. Breaking ball into the dirt, and the count's 1-1. So really excited that we've kind of got that figured out now.
Yes, thank everyone for their patience.
Yeah, no
yes,
kidding. Patience for weeks. Here's the 1-1 pitch from Judd. That one's going to be low, and the count goes to 2-1. So it'll be Bessemer, Bond, and Kailado. That one's in there for a strike, and now the count goes even at 2-2. Bessemer has 2 home runs on the season. Pitch comes in low, and now the count 3-2. Logan Judd got out of that first inning unscathed, even though 2 runners had gotten on and gave up 2 hits after getting the first out. Here's the 3-2 pitch. It's going to be in the dirt, and that'll walk Joey Bessemer.
Now batting left fielder, number 5, Jacob Bond.
Jacob Bond, the left fielder, now up to bat. Bond, the sophomore outfielder, batting .220. Bessemer getting a lead over at first base as Judd looks in for the sign. That one's going to be inside. I don't know if it got him. It was close. It is saying it did. And so now Logan Judd's going to put 2 guys on board with nobody out here in the top of the second inning.
Now batting catcher, number 34, Jacob Flores.
And it looks like they had a little bit of a change in their roster, unless I got that completely wrong earlier. Said now it's Jacob Flores. So I'll go back and take another look here. They might have changed that at the last minute. We had Chris Kailado. Yeah, it appears that they did change it. So it's Jacob Flores now, number 34. And Chris Kailado was on the original starting lineup. So we're getting a little bit of a change now. So Flores trying to advance both of his runners with showing bunt. Probably will show bunt again here. Yes, he will. He's going to lay that one down third base line. It goes foul. And 1-1 the count now. And we've seen a couple of really good bunts here this season, Julian, that have been kind of fantastic, actually. Some like a master class in how to bunt the ball and get it just at the right spot to where third base can't get to it any faster than the pitcher can, but it's almost midway between the two of them. And by the time either one reaches it, the guy's usually all the way down to first base and safe.
Don't forget about the bunt we just saw. Was that softball or baseball?
It was softball.
Where the bunting just sat there.
Just sat there, yeah. No kidding. Right in front of the batter's box, just died. A fantastic bunt yesterday. And, of course, extra innings on Tuesday for the Renegade softball team. And, boy, I tell you what, ended up winning that one, what was it, 9-8?
Yes.
In 9 innings. Oh, and he's going to hit into a double play there, and they get the lead runner, but he drops the ball. Wow, I'll tell you what, a fantastic job at third base by Jordan Mora, firing over to Nick Martin, but the runner got into him, and now I'm trying to figure out what they're calling. So a little confusion. There's nobody on second base right now, but I don't know what Kurt Townsend's coming out of the dugout about. Maybe it was the contact. And Townsend's still standing there.
Right.
I think he wasn't pleased with the contact, feeling like the runner came over the bag right at Nick Martin, but they end up calling him out anyway. So a double play there, and they get the lead runner and 2 down now. And Logan Judd, things just got a little bit easier for him here. What a fantastic play there by Jordan Mora at third base. Heads up, stepped on the bag and fired to second base immediately. And they're saying that Nick Martin had a hold of it long enough. So Flores reaches on a fielder's choice. And now up to bat, Kotaro Kuwatani. And a pitch outside. And the count goes to 2 balls, 1 strike. On the infield for the Renegades today, Brady Barrett at first base, Nick Martin at second, Santiago Blanco at shortstop, and Jordan Mora at third base. Jason Smith behind the plate. It's going to be fouled off out of play. In the outfield, Luke Shaw's over in left field, Jordan Brito at center, and Landon McDonald in right field. Kuwatani, the number 9 batter in this order for the Cougars. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count. It's going to be outside, and the count goes full. Logan Judd on the season has struck out 29 batters, and that one's going to be in the dirt. And he's going to walk the second batter of the inning. Third if you include the hit batter. So now 2 runners on with 2 out. And the Renegades trying to find their way out of this one. And honestly, I mean, they had a pretty good job by Jordan Mora getting 2 outs over there at third base. And they'll go back to Ben Strutt, who flew out to second base in the first inning. And the Cougars have had plenty of runners on so far. They just haven't been able to capitalize on anything. Breaking ball for a strike. Judd looking back at the runner. Flores doesn't appear to be that big of a base stealer. Pitch inside. And the count's 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swung on and driven into center field. Brito on his horse and wrangles one that almost got down as Flores was going to round the base and try to get to home. But a fantastic job by Jordan Brito, the speedy Jordan Brito out there in center field. BC leading as we head to the bottom of the second inning, 1-0. It'll be Camps, Blanco, and Mora for the bottom of the second inning for the Renegades. Pitch outside. Luke Camps, the designated hitter today. Camps is a freshman outfielder that also does play the outfield. He's had 60 at-bats so far this season, batting .250. Swing and a miss. And 1 ball, 2 strikes, the count to Luke Camps. Great day for a baseball game out here. The temperature earlier was not even approaching 60 degrees, but I think it's up closer to 65 now. It's going to probably get to around 70 today. That one handled well by the shortstop, Kotaro Kuatani, and 1 away here in the bottom of the second. So Santiago Blanco, the shortstop for the Renegades, now coming up to bat. Blanco, the freshman infielder at shortstop, has done a very good job this season. And he's batting .243 right now. That one swung on and fouled away. Had a couple of fans that are coming up into the stands today, so a little bit of a crowd, nice crowd here. That one just inside misses, and the count goes to 1-1. But considering the weather that we're having, Julian, I mean, it was a little chilly earlier, but it's actually kind of nice right now.
Yeah, we had a little bit of a threat of rain, and it sprinkled for a while and went away. I think we'll be good until tonight. So.
Well, that's good because we've got a lot of electronic equipment up here that doesn't have a cover over the top of it. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the count to Santiago Blanco here in the bottom of the second inning with 1 out. Pitch outside, and the count goes to 2-2. That center field camera that we got working today actually doing a pretty good job of catching the action from out in center field. That one fouled back out of play. And we couldn't be more excited that we have the multiple camera thing going right now, because we've been working on this for quite some time now.
Yeah, this is good for everyone. It's good for all our fans, good for fans of the other colleges. I mean, this is great.
Yeah, great to be able to have everybody be able to watch the game and see it a little more up close and personal. That one swung on and missed, and Santiago will go down with the first strikeout of the game. So Jordan Mora, now the third baseman, coming up to bat, made that good play in the second inning there. Forced a double play to get that lead runner, the 2 lead runners that actually kind of saved Logan Judd from getting an earned run. A potential earned run, I should say. First pitch swung on and missed, and the count's 0-1. That one fouled back, and now the count goes to 0-2. Chad Stanchfield so far has 1 strikeout in the game and has given up 2 hits. And that looks like that's going to do it. 3 up, 3 down here at the bottom of the second. Renegades leading College of the Canyons 1-0 back after this. Back for the top of the third inning. Logan Judd will face Travis Van Ness, Reed Farrell, and Liam Ostrom. Those batters are 2 for 3 combined. This was the heart of the order that gave him a little bit of trouble in the second inning, or in the first inning, rather. So far, Logan Judd has struck out 1, given up 2 hits, and walked 3, one of which was a hit batter. That one just misses, and the count's 1-1. You know, I've been watching the challenges so far in Major League Baseball this season, and boy, that's a whole other level of crazy.
I tell you what.
That one driven into left field. Luke Shaw's going to be out there. He'll be underneath that one. 1 away here in the top of the third. So Reed Farrell now got a hit in the first inning. Judd looks in. And a breaking ball in there for a strike. Kind of had the batter fooled, but I think it had Jason Smith fooled a little bit too because that thing popped out of his mitt. Logan once again with 1 strikeout so far. That's going to be popped up. Brady Baird underneath it. Called off by Nick Martin. Good job by Martin, and 2 away now here. So 2 away here in the top of the third inning for Logan Judd. And Liam Ostrom, the designated hitter, struck out in the first inning. That one's going to be fouled away, and the count's 0-1. You know, Julian, I was talking about, what I've been doing this week, and that one's going to be off the hands over there at third base. Jordan Mora, the sure-handed Jordan Mora, and boy, you could tell he's not very happy about that one.
No.
So an error is going to get charged to the third baseman on that one. And that brings up Michael Hogan now, the third baseman for the Cougars, who grounded out to second base in the first inning. First pitch foul, back out of play. Hogan, the 5th batter in the order for the Cougars today. And that one's going to be fouled back to the net. 0-2 the count. There is a softball game going over in the softball complex right now. The Renegades taking on LA Valley over there. That's going to be popped up. Nick Martin back for it. Makes the catch. And the Renegades get out of the inning and leave a runner on. Heading to the bottom of the third, it's BC 1, Canyon 0. Coming up for the bottom of the third inning, it's going to be Jason Smith, Luke Shaw, and back to the top of the order in Jordan Brito. Jason Smith behind the plate today. Smith batting .195. And he's only played in 13 games so far this season with only 41 at-bats. So, again, he's been kind of swapping out with Trice Spain-Howard. Pitch in there high, and now the count's 2-0. Swung on and missed, and the count goes to 2-1. That one's fouled back, and the count goes even at 2-2. They were talking about Major League Baseball the other day about how the pitch clock has really sped the game up. What used to be like a 3-hour game is no more. That's going to be driven down the line just fair, and it's going to get into the corner. Jason Smith rounding first. He's going to head to second. He's going to round second. He'll be into third, and he's going to be into third base. I'm surprised they made the throw, but he'll be in sliding, and a triple for Jason Smith. And a great start to the third inning for the Renegades. And Luke Shaw, the left fielder, now coming up to bat. Shaw batting .233. And he's got 14 RBIs. And a good opportunity now. You put one in play or just put it in the outfield. And a pretty quick Jason Smith is going to make his way home. That one's hitting to the opposite field. And Shaw rounding first base and heading into second. He'll be in with a stand-up double. So a double and a triple, and the Renegades capitalize and come away with a run here in the bottom of the third inning, and they go up 2-0 on Canyons. And add insult to injury, now you bring Jordan Brito up to the plate, who got a hit in the first inning. And on a play like this, I wonder if you go ahead and have him try to bunt to advance that runner down to third base. We'll find out. Brito's going to swing away. Breaking ball gets him, and the count's 0-1. And the other issue here, and I'm sure that Townsend would agree, Jordan Brito, not only if he bunts is he sacrificing, he has a chance of getting on base. That one hits the outside corner for a strike, and now Brito down and behind the count at 0-2. But Brito can lay a bunt down and get down the line and make his way to first base pretty well. He's done it a couple of times so far this season. That one's going to be in the dirt, and that'll help Luke Shaw to advance over to third base now. Nobody out here. And one run's already come across here in the bottom of the third inning. One ball, two strikes, the count to Jordan Brito. And that one gets away. And a run is going to come across. And Luke Shaw finds his way from second base to home plate on two errant pitches. And the Renegades go up 3-0 in the third inning.
And, I mean, two relatively easy scores.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they make it look textbook right now. And nobody out. Here's the 2-2 pitch. That one's kind of up the middle, but it's handled by Joey Bessemer. Fired over to first base, and is Brito going to get there in time? Yes, he does. So Jordan Brito is going to get a hit, his second of the game, and he's 2 for 2. And surprised that we haven't had Chad Stanchfield get a visit from the dugout out on the mound. And, yep, it's going to happen. So here comes the pitching coach. Going to come out and have a conversation, try to settle him down as nobody is out here in the third inning. And 2 runs have come across for the Renegades. And BC right now firing on all cylinders, Julian.
Right. And I've been thinking, you know what, I'm going to, in honor of your newfound fandom, I'm going to get you a Brito bell. And every time he comes to bat, we're going to ring that bell, man. Brito, ring, ring, ring.
I think so. If Jordan Brito's family is listening, I love Smith's Cookies.
I tell you what.
We were talking about, this is spring break in Bakersfield for all the high schools. Everybody's out. And of course, spring break, for my grandson and my son and my daughter-in-law. They're home from Washington. My son, Trent, my daughter-in-law, Gianna, and my grandson, Charlie. They're all here visiting, along with a soon-to-be new addition to our family. My daughter-in-law is going to have a little girl.
Oh, beautiful.
So we'll have a granddaughter.
Awesome.
But they're home visiting right now. So Charlie was at home yesterday listening to Grandpa.
Yes.
On Tuesday, rather, listening to me talk on the television. So he seems to be pretty impressed. If people are not impressed with you guys anymore, any fans out there, just have grandchildren. They'll become your biggest fans. It makes you feel so much better about yourself.
That's right. I agreed.
So Nick Martin now at the plate. Martin got a hit in his first time up in the first inning. And Brito, all the way down to second base, has got to get in there under the tag. And Jordan Brito now, that's going to be his 8th stolen base of the season. And he leads the Renegade squad.
And I don't know, Brito, he hears you up here talking. He can hear you. He can hear you.
We do talk quite highly about Jordan Brito. A fantastic baseball player. Even last year as a freshman, just came in and really knew what he was doing. A heck of a center fielder and a really speedy base runner, and actually a fantastic center fielder because he's got some wheels.
Yes, he does.
He really does move well. That last play in the last inning to get that final out was indicative of that. So the Renegades off to a 3-0 lead here in the bottom of the third inning. 2 balls, no strikes, the count to Martin. Martin's going to bunt the ball down third baseline. That's going to get Brito over to third. Martin will not beat it out. However, he did the job and advanced the runner, and only 1 out now for the Renegades. A great job by Nick Martin, the second baseman, and he's been doing a heck of a job on defense too. And boy, I'm not giving enough credit for Nick Martin and the fantastic job that he does at second base. So Landon McDonald now, the home run leader here at Bakersfield College in the history of Bakersfield College. McDonald up to bat with 14 home runs on the season. Swung on a slow dribbler over to shortstop. And McDonald's going to come away with an RBI and a ground out to short. But Brito will score. And the Renegades now have 3 runs in the inning, and they lead 4-0. Brady Baird now coming up to the plate. Flew out to shortstop in the first inning. Baird has kind of taken over at first base for Liam O'Reilly, who has not been in the lineup, and we haven't seen Liam in the last couple of games here, and I haven't had a chance to talk to him to find out if he's had an injury or if he's, just out of the lineup because he's been beaten out. But Liam O'Reilly, a good baseball player, good hitter, and a heck of a first baseman in his own right. That's the tough part about a squad like this. You get some really good players, and how do you pick between one over the other?
Right.
And O'Reilly started at first base last season, too, and even pitched a little bit. Ball outside. And it counts 3 balls, no strikes. Baird's going to sit on his hands on this one, I'm sure. Pitch inside. And he'll go aboard with 2 out here in the bottom of the third inning. Only the first walk of the day so far for Chad Stanchfield. Stanchfield's given up 4 runs, 5 hits, and 1 walk. And he struck out 1. And Luke Camp's the designated hitter now coming up to bat, grounded out to shortstop. in the second inning. And Baird's going to try and steal the base, and it looks like he's going to get – oh, he's going to get in under the tag. It missed him. Wow. I thought that the tag had gotten him, but it turns out that it missed. So 1 ball, no strikes, the count to Luke Camps. That went on the outside corner, and the count goes even at 1-1. And looking right there, going back to it, and it must have just missed him. And we're going to do one. Julian says we're going to do it one more time. Taking a look at it here. I think he just missed him. And boy, I'll tell you what, Kuwatani was utterly confused, thought he got him. You know, going back into the olden times, because I'm from the 1900s.
Is it called olden times?
It used to be. I think it is called olden times. If the throw was there, regardless of the tag, you remember those days. If the throw was there, they didn't care.
Right.
And that has all changed, you know, now that we're on Australian rules. 3 balls, 2 strikes to count. And that's going to get him. That was a strikeout. So Camps is going to go down. But the damage is done with 3 runs across in the bottom of the 3rd inning, and the Renegades lead over Canyons 4-0. Back with more after this. Back for the top of the 4th inning. It'll be Bessemer, Bond, and Flores. Joey Bessemer, the second baseman, walked in the 2nd inning. Logan Judd walked 3 batters in that inning. And a wild pitch is going to get away. 1 ball, no strikes, the count. In that inning, if you go and look back, Jordan Mora, after 2 runners had been walked, Mora stepped on the bag at 3rd to throw over to 2nd to get the runner. 1 more got walked, and then a fly out to center finally ended the inning. So Logan Judd kind of his defense has bailed him out a little bit so far today. And not that he's pitching a bad one. He struck out 1, given up 2 hits, but he's walked 3, and all 3 of those were in the 2nd inning. Here's the 2-0 pitch. That one's going to be inside. 3 balls, no strikes, the count. Bessemer once again batting .264 on the season. That one's going to miss, and Bessemer's going to find his way down to first base. The 2nd walk of the game for Bessemer now. And Judd had a little bit of trouble with the bottom of the order the last time, walked 3 of the 5 batters that he faced. So Jacob Bond now coming up to bat. Bond also walked in the second inning. Pitch in there for a strike. And the count's 0-1. You know, on some of these we have to wait a little bit because that plate umpire is a little bit, he's a little delayed on his calls. So I'm watching it on a monitor too, just to kind of see if I can get the call because I can't tell. Judd fires over to first, trying to hold the runner. Bessemer didn't steal in the second inning. He was walked over when Jacob Bond had walked. No balls, 1 strike to count. That one comes in a little bit high. And the count's even at 1-1. Renegades with a solid 4-0 lead so far, getting a lot of runs in that third inning. Kind of putting on a clinic on how to advance your runners and score. That one swung on and missed. The Lady Renegades over on the softball diamond right now taking on LA Valley. They're leading in the third inning 14-0.
Don't know how, yeah.
What do you say? That's a lot of offense for a softball game, too. So definitely have the number of the pitching staff for LA Valley right now. After 5 innings, if there's a lead of, I believe it's 9. Is it 9 or more? What's the lead?
It is
8. Okay.
Yes.
8 or more, and then they're run ruled. So right now, BC well on their way to getting out of that game in only 5 innings. Again, on Tuesday, we did go to 9 innings. Breaking ball in there for a strike, and he's going to punch him out. 1 down now here in the top of the 4th inning, and Jacob Flores, the catcher, coming to the plate. Flores flew out to center in his last up in the second inning. He's going to pop that one up. Burrito's there. And 2 away. So 2 flyouts to center for Jacob Flores. So Kotaro Kawatani, the shortstop, now up to bat. He walked in the second inning. That one on the outside corner for a called strike, and the count's 0-1. So Logan Judd walked the first runner of the inning. Josie Bessemer's over at first base. He's had a pretty decent time of it since then. Count goes to 1-1. Striking out Jacob Bond and getting Flores to fly out to center. With the exception of the second inning where he faced 5 batters, he had faced 4 batters in the first and 4 in the third, and right now he's working on his 4th batter here in the 4th. So Logan's had a pretty decent time of it so far today, and the count's 2 balls, 1 strike to Kuatani. Pitch low and outside. Now the count's 3 balls, 1 strike. Kuatani batting .333. He's got 32 hits on the season with 12 RBIs. That one's going to be popped up. Jordan Mora is going to be underneath it. And that's going to do it for the top of the 4th inning. Canyons leaves 1 runner aboard. The Renegades leading 4-0. More baseball right after this. Back for the bottom of the fourth inning, the Renegades will have Blanco, Mora, and Smith. Four runs across so far for BC. Santiago Blanco, that one's going to be hit over to short. Easily handled by Kuatani and one away. And Jordan Mora. And Mora's had a pretty busy day today, with the exception of the one error that he had that really didn't cause too much, didn't cause any damage for that matter. Pretty good day over there at third base, and he's been busy.
Yes, he has.
And third base is a tough one. That one's going to be inside, and the count's 1-0. That one swung on and fouled back. 1-1 the count to Jordan Mora. Mora grounded out to first base in the second inning. And here's the 1-1 pitch. It's going to just miss high, and the count goes to 2-1. And boy, that's a tough one to lay off of when you look at that. It's right around the belt, just over the top of it. And Jordan Mora, that could have gone one of two ways. Might have gotten a little bit lucky with the no call there. Swung on and missed, and the count's even at 2-2. Not too windy of a day up here. It was a little breezy in Bakersfield down on the northwest side of town. Thought we were going to have a little bit of a problem up here, but it's, the flags out there in right center are blowing a little bit, but not too much. And you can tell when it's windy by what you hear in our microphones. And these things pick up tons of wind, even though it does have a wind screen on it, but it still doesn't seem to help that much. Okay, I don't know what the call was from the official there. We'll have to find out. Gio General is usually the guy that tells me. Oh, the count is 3-2. Okay, he didn't like the count on the scoreboard. They had it wrong. And Mora's going to whiff on that one. And the second strikeout of the inning for Chad Stanchfield. And that's his fourth of the game. His third in a row, because he struck out Luke Camps to end the last inning. So now Jason Smith, the catcher, with that leadoff triple back in the third inning that really kind of got the Renegades going. That one's going to be popped up towards right field and just goes foul. So with the exception of the third inning, Stanchfield's had a pretty easy time out here. He gave up one run in the first inning, but other than that, he kind of controlled the narrative up until last inning. And he's doing it again right here. Breaking ball in there for a strike. And 0-2 the count against Jason Smith. Smith behind the plate today for Trice Spainhoward, and he's going to swing on that and miss. And the Renegades, 3 strikeouts in a row as Stansfield retires the side. Heading to the top of the 5th inning, it's BC 4, Canyon 0. Back to the top of the order for Canyons to start the 5th inning is Ben Strutt up to bat. Ben flew out to second base in the 1st inning and then flew out to center in the 2nd. And Logan Judd's been doing a pretty good job of shutting everybody down since. No runs across yet for Canyons. That pitch is low and the count's 1-0. So again, a really nice day up here today. Surprisingly, not too windy, and the weather's pretty good. That's going to be popped. They're going to say it was fair, and I kind of missed the play on that. So a hit for Ben Strutt. And Travis Van Ness now coming up to bat, the first baseman. Got a hit in the 1st inning and flew out to left field in the 3rd inning. So leadoff hit for Canyons. That one's going to be inside. He's going to say he got hit, and that's the 2nd hit batter of the game for Logan Judd. So right fielder Reed Farrell now up to bat. So 2 runners on and nobody out for Logan Judd. And this is kind of the same situation that he faced in the 1st inning and found his way out of that one miraculously. Going back to that 1st inning, he got the 1st out, but then Travis Van Ness and Reed Farrell both got hits and then ended up striking out Liam Ostrom, and Michael Hogan grounded out to second base to end the inning. So, it's not that it can't happen, but, boy, you really don't want to play from behind, right, just like you are right now with runners on 1st and 2nd.
Well, he's had some great defense to back him up in the early innings, so that's why he's in a good position right now.
Yeah, well, the count right now, no balls, 1 strike to Reed Farrell, and the infield comes in and wants to have a talk along with Kurt Townsend out on the mound just to kind of check on his pitcher to find out, where are you and how much have you got left in the tank. And some of this is just to kind of calm your pitcher down. When things don't go your way.
And Judd's the type of pitcher, because of his maturity, you can talk to him.
Absolutely, yeah. And I've known Logan for a really long time. He's a very mature young man. When it comes to baseball, like, he is just focused. He's got, his field of vision is pretty small. It's focused in on what he wants to do and what he's got to do. And he's a strong pitcher. And so, really kind of looking forward. He had some knee problems, which was the injury that sidelined him last year. Luckily, nothing in the arm or the shoulder. That's going to be fouled back out of play into the stands. And no balls, 2 strikes the count to Reed Farrell. Nobody out and 2 men on here in the top of the 5th inning. That one over to short. And Blanco makes the decision too late. And honestly, you really can't blame him. There was nowhere to go. And I don't know if that's Jordan Mora's fault for not covering third, because he headed toward the ball a little bit, thinking he was going to make the play on it, but then found out that he couldn't. But it was too late to cover third base. So now bases are loaded with nobody out. And Farrell wins. And I don't know what they're going to call that or how they're going to space that one out. It looks like they're not going to call that an error. They're going to call that a hit, because it was a pretty tough deal. But, I mean, Blanco had nowhere to go with the ball. It was too late to go to second, and too late to go to first, and third base wasn't covered by Mora. So now the bases are loaded with nobody out here in the top of the 5th inning for Canyons. First pitch just misses. And the count's 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Two balls, no strikes now. And if you're Logan Judd in this kind of a spot, you don't want to get behind the batter with bases loaded. Because walking a run in is probably one of the worst things a pitcher can experience. It's going to be popped up out of play. And the count goes to 2 balls, 1 strike. That one down the line. Mora, is he going to get the second one? It looks like he is. So 2 outs right there, but a run comes across. But if you're the Renegades, you got to be celebrating like crazy right now. Mora, the second time he's done a double play today by stepping on the bag and firing to the other base for the out.
Heads up.
So again, Jordan Mora made a slight mistake here in the inning, but then he rectifies it by getting 2 outs. And they only give up a run, and I'm sure the Renegades are more than happy to give up that run. So Farrell finds his way back to the bag just in time. 1 ball, no strikes the count to Michael Hogan. Hogan grounded out to second base in the first inning and flew out to second in the third rather. So 1 run across with 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning. And Hogan's going to find his way over to third base easily now. And he was already looking to run. Almost got tracked down on that last play. And I think the third base coach is over there having a little conversation with him because they weren't quite in sync, I think, on that last one where he almost got gunned down at second base. But the ball got away from Jason Smith. And Farrell easily finds his way over. And Farrell creeping down the line a little bit. And I think he got hit. Yep, sure enough he did. So the third hit batter of the game. So Bessemer now up to bat, has walked both times he's been up so far today. So now runners at the corners with 2 out. And Logan Judd facing his 6th batter of the inning. And surprisingly, only 1 run has come across so far. So Bessemer swings on that one and pops it up. Nick Martin coming in. Santiago, they bump into each other. And Martin not happy about that one as he throws the ball away. A little bit irritated with Santiago Blanco. But only 1 run across. And the Cougars are finally on the board here in the 5th inning. Coming back for the bottom of the 5th after this. Back from the bottom of the 5th inning, the Renegades leading 4-1 over the Canyons Cougars. Cougars finally on the board in the top of the 5th with 1 run. Chad Stanchfield still on the mound for the Cougars. He'll face Luke Shaw, Brito, and Martin. Shaw up to bat right now. Shaw with that double in the 3rd inning, right after the Jason Smith triple that scored Smith. 2 balls high so far, and the count's 2-0. Slow dribbler over to second base. And tossed out by Bessemer. 1 away. So Jordan Brito back up to bat now. Brito 2 for 2 so far today. A couple of base hits and an RBI.
I don't have your bell, sorry.
And Luke Shaw actually scored from second base on the last hit that Jordan Brito got because he was really moving. So Brito with an RBI and 2 hits so far today. And he's even scored a run. Pitch outside and the count's 1-0. And I think it'd be hard-pressed. It's been the Jordan Brito show today. I know you're giving me a hard time about this, Julian. Throw over to first. And another one away. And, you know, it seems like the longer that Chad Stanchfield is on the mound for Cougars, the better he gets, because right now he struck out the side in the last inning, struck out the last batter. He had 4 strikeouts in a row, then a ground out and another ground out. So he's really kind of firing on all cylinders right now. And Nick Martin now coming to the plate. Martin has a hit and a ground out to third base. Martin's going to lay down the bunt, and that one's going to go foul. And Martin, a speedy second baseman. You know, the Renegades have a couple of real speedsters on this squad that can move down the line.
Yeah, they have some athletes, and it's impressive. I mean, and you're seeing more of that in baseball. I mean, when you watch the major leagues, I can't believe the size of these guys. It's like they should all be playing football.
Yeah, well, they're large human beings, and then they just move well. And, I mean, hey, Ohtani's probably the one that we talk about the most as far as an all-around gifted human being that is a pitcher and a batter all at the same time, and there's nothing he can't do. Pitch fouled away, and the count's 0-2.
Yeah, I don't imagine there isn't a sport he can't play, including bowling. He could do it all.
Probably.
He could do it all.
Bowling, all right.
Bowling, that's right.
Oh, to the count to Martin. Ball's high, and the count's 1-2 now. We'll get the score over on the softball diamond for you coming up here pretty soon. The Renegades were leading after the third inning, 14-0. And LA Valley in jeopardy of getting run ruled in the fifth on that one. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count to Nick Martin. Two outs here in the bottom of the fifth inning. One swung on up the middle. Kuwatani over to first base. And that's going to do it for the fifth inning. 3 up, 3 down for the Renegades. Second inning in a row. But they have a 4-1 lead. And back with the sixth inning after this. Jacob Bond leading off for the top of the sixth inning. He'll be followed by Jacob Flores and Kotaro Kuwatani as the Renegades lead 4-1 here in the top of the sixth inning. Bond walked in the second and struck out in the fourth. That pitch is fouled back out of play. Logan Judd has walked 6 batters so far today in this game, 3 of which he hit. And he struck out 3 and given up 4 hits. And the Renegades have 1 error. And I believe that was the error for Jordan Morrow over at third base back in the second inning. And another pitch fouled back. Almost 2 pitches fouled back in the same spot twice in a row. Those baseballs are going to find their way all the way down on College. The parking situation up here at Bakersfield College is kind of funny when you come to a baseball game. Because there are no cars parked close up. Everyone's parked far away because they know a baseball is coming that direction. That pitch misses, and the count's 1-2.
And surprisingly, we've had it's been a rare number of incidents where we've lost some windshields.
Yeah.
It's been rare.
We try not to lose too many of them. And everyone wonders when they come here to visit, why is nobody parked up next to the field? Well, I'll tell you why.
That's why.
Pitch foul back. Count remains 1-2. Logan Judd has pitched 6 innings so far, and the last inning was probably one of the roughest that he's had because he faced 6 batters, the most he's faced in any inning so far. Prior to that, he had faced 4 was his max. And I may be wrong. I'm sorry, 5. He faced 5 batters in the second inning, but then he only faced 4 in the next 2 innings before finally getting to that 5th inning where he faced 6. Two balls, 2 strikes the count to Jacob Bond. He had to reset the pitch clock. That one's fouled back. Right now, Bond's doing his job by getting as many pitches out of Logan Judd as he possibly can. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swung on and popped up foul. So Judd has pitched 6 innings, and we don't know what his pitch count is, but it's getting close to the maximum, I think. And we'll find out. He did get roughed up a little bit in that last inning, gave up 1 run, but still came away pretty unscathed, considering. Pitch is in there high. And now the count is full. Six walks again in the game for the Renegades. That one's popped up foul once again. This will be the 9th pitch in a row to Jacob Bond. It just kind of eating away at Logan Judd's arm. And it swung on and missed. That one gets away. Smith's going to fire down to first base. Oh, that one was close, but he gets him. And one away here in the top of the 6th. 4 strikeouts now for Logan Judd today. And now the catcher, Jacob Flores, coming to the plate. He flew out to center field twice in a row, once in the 2nd and once in the 4th. And looking for a base hit here as he's 0 for 2. And he got hit on that one. So that's going to be the 4th hit batter of the game for Logan Judd. And I don't see a lot of action going on down in the bullpen. There are a couple of players down there right now. And I think Tri Spanhauer, the catcher, the other catcher for the Renegades, I think he's down there to get somebody warmed up here in a second. But right now, it appears that Kurt Townsend doesn't have any idea of when he's going to take Logan Judd out because nobody's warming up over there in the bullpen. A couple players stretching a little bit, but that's about it. 1 ball, no strikes, the count to Kotaro Kuwatani. 1 out here in the top of the 6th, and 1 runner on. One and one the count. Here's the pitch. That one just off the mitt of Nick Martin over at second base. And a base hit for Kuwatani, his first of the game. And the 5th hit given up by Logan Judd today. So now 1 out and 2 runners on here in the top of the 6th inning for the Cougars. And back to the top of the order with number 15, Ben Strutt, the center fielder. Strutt 1 for 3 today with a fly out to second base in the first inning, fly out to center in the second, and a hit in the 5th. That one's inside, and the count's 1-0. 4 hit batters today for Logan Judd.
Wow, yeah.
Liam O'Reilly plugged 8 batters in a game last year, and I kind of gave him some grief about it, kind of giggled a little bit. Because I don't think I'd ever seen anybody hit 8 batters in a single game before. Fastball on the inside. And 2-0 the count.
You know, I think I remember that game. I think that was a game where whoever they were playing, they were really crowding.
Yeah.
The
standing on the line, that's right.
They were right on it, yeah. I remember that.
Ball goes foul, and the count's 2 balls, 1 strike now. And now as we look down into the bullpen, it appears that they are getting somebody warmed up. And looking at the roster for Bakersfield College, that appears to be number 18, Brody Weddle. So Weddle getting warmed up. And 3-1 the count. That's going to be high. And now bases are going to get loaded. And Logan Judd in a little bit of hot water here now with 1 out in the top of the 6th inning and a 4-1 lead. And I think they're going to call timeout. And Kurt Townsend's coming out of the dugout, I think, for the final time to Logan Judd. That's going to do it. I'd be surprised if he didn't go to the dugout, and he pointed. So Weddle is going to come in now in relief. So 6 1/3 innings pitched for Logan Judd. Gave up 1 run. Walked 7. 4 of those are hit batters. And gave up 5 hits today. And they'll give him the applause as he comes off. So Weddle, number 18, he'll get warmed up, and we'll be back with more Renegade Baseball after this. So Brody Weddle coming in on in relief for Logan Judd, who pitched 6 1/3 innings. Had a pretty successful day, gave up 1 run. But he still has 3 of them on the diamond that he is responsible for. So Weddle, number 18. That one's going to be fouled off. Weddle's appeared in 10 games so far this year. He's given up 30 hits and 21 runs with an earned run average of 10.19. But the average drops dramatically when runners are in scoring position at 209. So that one's outside. Travis Van Ness up to bat now. So Van Ness was hit back in the 5th inning and put on base. It's going to be popped up, foul, and out of play. And the count goes to 1-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That one down the line. And Jordan Mora not able to get that one. 1 run comes across. Here comes a second. And they're going to hold at third base, and 2 runs come across. And Canyons is back in this one now as they trail 4-3. 2 runs came across. And a double by Travis Van Ness. So Van Ness with 2 RBIs helps his club claw back into this one now in the top of the 6th inning. Runners at second and third now with 1 out. And Reed Farrell, the right fielder, up to bat, 2 for 3 so far today. 2 hits and a fly out, pop up to second base. It's going to be a slow dribbler, and I think he's going to make it over to first base. He does. That one just a dribbler down third baseline. And Weddle doing everything he could to fire it over to first in time, was unable to get it, and now bases are loaded once again. So BC in a little bit of trouble here now as they face the 7th batter of the inning now. Weddle his 2nd. 2 runs scored will be credited to Logan Judd. First pitch in there for a strike. Breaking ball popped into left field. Jordan Brito going back. And a run is going to score. So the job by Liam Ostrom of tying this one up at 4 as he drives that one into center field. Luke Shaw got back in time to get it, but that was pretty much it. There was nothing that he could do to get that one back in time. So a fly out to the left fielder yields another run, and this game is tied up at 4 apiece. And Michael Hogan now to the plate. He was hit in the last inning and put on base. A throw over to second base, and he's going to get him. So the Renegades get out of the inning, but give up 3 runs. And the game tied up at 4. Back with the bottom of the 6th after this. So BC hasn't been able to put a run on the board against Chad Stanchfield since the third inning. And that lead now evaporated as they're tied up at 4 apiece with College of the Canyons. And Stanchfield still on the mound. The Renegades unable to punch him out. He's just gotten better with time. And now Landon McDonald up to the plate to lead off here in the bottom of the 6th inning. McDonald has grounded out to shortstop both of the times that he's been up so far today. So not having the best time of it. No balls, 1 strike to Landon McDonald. Pitch inside, the count's 1-1. Stanchfield hasn't given up a hit since Jordan Brito faced him in the 3rd inning. McDonald's got to get hit. And he'll find his way down to first base. And now Brady Baird, the first baseman, up to bat. And Baird's been kind of silent today as well. Flew out to shortstop, popped up in the 1st inning and walked in the 3rd. But a leadoff walk for the Renegades. And keep an eye on Landon McDonald. He is a lot faster than people give him credit for, and he may take off here. That was inside. Landon's going to make his way all the way down to second base. And not a bad job right there of Brady Baird just standing still. Mm-hmm. He wasn't forced to get out of the way on an errant pitch like that if it's in the dirt. And chances are if you move, you might kick the ball.
Right.
And if you do that, then it's interference, and your player's got to go back to first base. So smart play by Brady Baird of sticking still. That's going to be popped up out of play. Popped an out of play to Brady Baird, and the count's 1 ball, 2 strikes. The speedy Landon McDonald over at second base, trying to get the Renegades back on top here with a 1-2 count to Brady Baird. And again, Chad Stanchfield has done a masterful job since the 3rd inning, just taken over and really shut down the Renegade offense. And that one just misses. Two balls, 2 strikes the count. And that one's going to just get through. McDonald takes advantage, and he's going to score. And the Renegades take the lead back 5-4. And I'll tell you what, if Kotaro Kuatani hadn't paid so much attention to Landon McDonald over at second base, he would have been in a better position. That score wouldn't have happened.
That's exactly what happened. You could see it.
I understand that you want to hold the runner as much as possible. But, boy, when you got to focus on Landon McDonald over there at second base, it pulls you over. You have to negotiate him. They really didn't have much of a choice in the play. So a base hit for Brady Baird. And now Luke Camp's the designated hitter coming to the plate. And nobody out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. So BC with another opportunity here to get a couple more runs in the inning. As they got a runner over on first. Baird with the lead. And jumps back. Brady Baird on the season has 3 stolen bases, and that one's going to be driven. Coming over to cut that one off Looked like it was going to get down. Ben Strutt, the center fielder, makes the catch and one away in the bottom of the 6th. That one with a little bit too much air under it. I thought it was going to hit the gap, but it didn't get there quite as fast as it looked like it was getting. It just kind of floated out there. And Strutt able to easily find his way over to make the catch. One away. And now Santiago Blanco has struck up both times he's been up so far today. That one's going to be in the dirt. Kailata with a good job stopping that ball and keeping the runner held over at first base. That one fouled away, and the count goes even at 1-1. Santiago Blanco batting .243 on the season, but he struck out a team leading 34 times this season. Throw back over to first. And Brady Baird really isn't getting much of a lead over there. I don't know what the attention is being paid to him right now. Again, he's only stolen 3 bases all season long, so he's not a huge threat. They are really trying to keep an eye on him. Swung on and fouled back. And the count goes to 1-2. Again, throwing back over to first base. And it's not like Baird is getting a huge lead either.
Well, he doesn't.
So kind of surprised.
Well, he doesn't want anybody else to get in the scoring position, and I can understand that. So,
but Brady Baird not even diving to get back. He's that close to the bag. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, and Blanco's going to go down for the 3rd time today. And now Jordan Mora coming to the plate with 2 outs. Mora ground out to first in the 2nd inning and struck out in the 4th. Swung on a little late and fouled away. Sun starting to come out a little bit, lighting up the field. Big clouds here in the late afternoon, and that's going to take a little bit of effect towards right field. Another one fouled back, and the count's 0-2. First time we've actually seen the sun today. And honestly, it feels more like beach weather here today. Mm-hmm. That one's fouled away. The count remains 0-2. One runner on, 2 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Renegades got 1 run across and they lead 5-4. That one driven into right field, down the line, and it's going to be foul. Boy, just foul. And I'll tell you what, kind of the surprising thing, Reed Farrell over there in right field playing a lot closer to the line than I thought he was. And, in fact, everybody's playing towards right field. The center fielder is playing in right field. So they must know something. They're pitching him away, trying to get him to drive that ball towards right field. And Mora today, when he grounded out to first, he does push the ball that way. So the scouting report on him, that's going to be over to second base, handled by Bessemer. And that's going to do it. The Renegades, though, get a run across and take the lead back 5-4 over the College of the Canyons Cougars. Back with more after this. Back for the top of the 7th inning, the Renegades leading the College of the Canyons Cougars by a score of 5-4. Canyons tied it up there in the top of the 6th inning, and the Renegades took the lead back in the bottom. Michael Hogan, Joey Bessemer, and Jacob Bond up to bat. That one's going to be popped straight up in the air. Called for by Smith. And one pitch, one away here in the top of the 7th. So Joey Bessemer, the second baseman, now up to bat. Bessemer 0 for 3 today, but has reached base 2 of the 3 times. He got hit in the 2nd inning and then walked again in the 4th, and then flew out to second base, popped up in the 5th. Pitch on the outside corner, and the count's 0-1. Weddle so far having a pretty good time of it here. Yeah, a couple runs came across after he had bases loaded, but then managed to find his way out of the pickle and only gave up 1 run after that. Counts even at 1-1. Pitch way outside. Now the count goes to 2-1. Final score on the game for the Lady Renegades today. They beat LA Valley by a score of 17-4 and run ruled them in the 5th inning. So the second game in a row this week for them. Santiago Blanco over to first base. And 2 away here in the top of the 7th. Left fielder Jacob Bond now up to bat.
5-3 in conference now.
So the Lady Renegades now 5-3 in conference. They were even just the other day and won both games this week. So they're starting to dig their heels a little bit to try to get to the postseason. And as we talked about off air a little while ago between me, Julian Wilson, and Gio General, they lost 7 of their previous 8 games. So the 2 wins this week were really important. Just having a bit of a tough stretch here through the month of March, but hoping to turn around here in the month of April and finish strong. So back on the positive side in conference play. Two balls, no strikes, the count. Jacob Bond walked in the 2nd inning and then struck out again in the 4th and the 6th innings. Little hits the outside corner on that pitch, and the count goes to 2-1. BC was cruising pretty well with a 4-1 lead there for a while before that last inning, and I think maybe that just was a Logan Judge just getting too tired out. And it happens quickly, and a base hit for Jacob Bond, his first of the day, with 2 down here in the top of the 7th. So Jacob Flores now coming up to bat. Flores 0 for 3 with a walk. He's popped up to center in the 2nd and the 4th innings and then walked in the 6th. And in fact, he was that lead runner on that started that scoring drive for the Cougars back in the 6th. Pitch inside, and the count's 1-0. And some high puffy clouds here up at Bakersfield College so far this afternoon, but no rain. And they predicted, a couple days ago, predicting a little bit of rain. And we got some yesterday, so kind of in the break. Kind of nice that it hit in between the 2 games that we were calling. We did call the game on Tuesday for the softball game and then calling the baseball game today. But nice to know that we stayed dry, especially we have equipment out in center field that is uncovered. That's going to be popped up. Nick Martin over to cut that one off. And 3 away. So 1 hit given up here in the 7th inning. And the Renegades maintain the lead 5-4. Back with more after this. Back for the bottom of the 7th inning, the Renegades will have Jason Smith, Luke Shaw, and Jordan Brito to the plate. And still surprisingly, Chad Stanchfield back again for another inning. He's still in there strong. Gave up 1 run in the last inning, but he's still hanging in. Hopper over to second base, handled by Bessemer. And 1 away. So Luke Shaw now coming to the plate. Shaw back in that 3rd inning with that double that brought in Jason Smith, who had gotten the triple previously, and then he scored on the Jordan Brito hit following that. One of the 3 runs in that inning where they just kind of got hot. Shaw showing bunt. Misses on the bunt. They called it a strike, and the count's 0-1. Breaking ball on the outside misses, and the count goes even at 1-1. That pitch is outside, and the count goes to 2-1. The Renegades honestly have not been that busy over the last couple of innings. And a drive into left field. And Shaw thought about it for a second, but he'll find his way back to the base, and he's on with a base hit. His 2nd of the game. And now back to the top of the inning. The top of the order. Jordan Brito now coming up to bat. And keep an eye on Luke Shaw over at first base. Luke Shaw, the left fielder. Keep an eye on him because he has some wheels. And with 1 out, they might try to be a little aggressive here. And they are. The hit and run was on, but Brito's going to pop it up into center field. And Shaw really has to do a job of getting back as they throw all the way. Penn Strutt going for broke, throwing it all the way over to first base to try to tag him out. So a fly out to center field for Jordan Brito. And Nick Martin coming to the plate now. And the hit and run was on that last play. And good connection and contact by Brito, but right into the breadbasket out there in center field for Ben Strutt. 2 down here in the bottom of the 7th. Pitch inside. And the count's 1-0. Nick Martin 1 for 3 today with a hit in the first inning, but he grounded out to third and short in the 3rd and 5th innings. So he's been silent since the first inning. Now it's going to be driven into left field. Over to head it off Jacob Bond. He does the job. Now the Renegades leave one runner stranded. And we're heading to the top of the 8th inning after this. Back for the top of the 8th inning. Kotaro Kuwatani leading off at the top of the 8th. Kuwatani had walked in the 2nd inning, then struck out in the 4th, but he got a hit in the 6th inning. Slow dribbler back to Weddle. Tosses it over to first base for the first out of the inning. And it seems after Weddle had disposed of those 3 runners for the Renegades that he kind of took over after that, and he's been lights out ever since.
Yes, he has.
Faced 4 batters in the last inning, giving up 1 hit. Now, the defense for the Renegades has been pretty good today. Only 1 error. Pitch in there for a strike, and the count's 0-1. So BC hoping to improve today. And get to 6-5 in conference and get even at 15-15. That would be their desire. And of course, right now, College of the Canyons is at 4-6 in conference, 11-18 overall. And at this stage in the game, it's all about conference play. Try and improve that conference record. Breaking ball in there for a strike, and the count goes to 1-2. And the Clouds are coming back as we're watching the last of the sun disappear over there in right field. But luckily, no rain in the forecast right now, and everything's looking pretty good. That one swung on and driven into left field. That's going to head foul. Ben Strutt 1 for 4 so far today. He was hit back in the 6th inning, got a hit in the 5th. But he flew out in the 1st inning. He was the first out of the game before they scored a run in that 1st inning on the Renegades. Nick Martin over to head that one off. And a wild throw. And I don't know what Martin was taking his time on, but maybe we should give some credit to Ben Strutt getting down the line so quickly. Because, I think I looked over towards second to see the play. And Martin went to throw, and the throw was off the mark. But even if it had been on the mark, I think that Ben Strutt would have beat that throw.
Yes.
So Strutt pretty speedy, finds his way down there. And they're going to call that an error on Nick Martin. So an error charged to the second baseman, the second of the game. And Travis Van Ness now up to the plate. Van Ness 2 for 4 today with 2 hits, one hit and a double. And then he was hit back in the 5th inning. So one of the 5 players that actually Logan Judd had hit. And he's going. The throw over to second off the mark. Boy, I tell you what. Ben Strutt, we haven't got to see him run the bases like that so far today. He was really moving. And even if that throw had been on time, I think he would have been safe.
Made it, yep.
So now the Renegades need to keep an eye on him and hold him close to the bag. And Strutt with a big lead. And I'm just looking back right now, and it seems like Nick Martin is closer to the bag than Strutt is. Pitch in there for a strike, and the count's 0-1. I digress. We just hadn't got the strike put up. It's 0-2 because that last pitch was a strike on the throw down to second base. So right now, the biggest issue here is for Weddle to make sure that he doesn't balk. And now Strutt's not off the bag as much as he was previously. I'm not sure why he decided to get closer now, because he's not really even being held that much. Santiago Blanco is in position and not concerned with that. Nick Martin, on the other hand, kind of guarding second base over there, but Ben Strutt a little bit closer to the bag than he was the first time. And maybe he kind of realized that he was a little too far off the bag. That one's driven into center field. Jordan Brito goes back. He's going to head that one off. And that's going to be the second out of the inning. So a fly out to center field. And now 2 down here in the top of the 8th inning with 1 run on in scoring position in Ben Strutt. And the Renegades trying to hold him tight and keep him there at second base with Reed Farrell coming up to bat. And Farrell dangerous in that third spot. He's 3 for 4 so far today. Breaking ball in the dirt. So the Renegades have Farrell right now, who is 3 for 4, and following him is Liam Ostrom. Ostrom 0 for 4 as the designated hitter. And I got to wonder, do you really want to play footsie right now with Reed Farrell? That one's going to be fouled off out of play. I know in cases like this, it's not popular to want to walk the runner down, but a guy that has the potential to put one in play and a speedy Ben Strutt at second base, it might be smart to put him on.
Right. I agree.
Because Liam Ostrom has had no luck today, and Michael Hogan following him has had no luck either. Both of them are 0 for 4. That one swung on and fouled off, and the count's 1-2. So Weddle taking his time. And you don't want to give Farrell any leeway here. Farrell batting .342, the leading average on this squad for Canyons. So as I was saying, this is not probably the batter that you want to face, the best batter on the squad. One ball, two strikes, the count, 2 out, and a runner on at second. Renegades leading 5-4. And a tough at-bat here for Weddle. That one swung on right to Santiago Blanco. And the Renegades get out of a pinch and maintain the lead 5-4 over the College of the Canyons Cougars. Back with the bottom of the 8th inning after this. The 8th inning, rather, and a changing of the pitcher for Canyons. It's Jake Rendo, the sophomore. Rendo and I'm looking for his batting average, a .704 batting average. Some of these batting averages and statistics are a little bit different on our screens than on other teams. They have them all mixed around. 9 appearances so far on the season. Landon McDonald now at the plate for the Renegades. McDonald not had a whole lot of luck so far today. Grounded out to shortstop in the 1st and 3rd innings and then walked when he got hit in the 6th. So we got a visitor up here today with us, Mr. Mark Parker. Parker, good to see you, man.
Thanks. It's good to be here.
Yeah, Mark Parker is the other announcer at Frontier High School for the PA. that does some football games and some basketball games and some baseball games. We've done pretty much everything this season, haven't we?
Yeah, it's been fun.
So your thoughts of being up here on top of the box and getting to, watch Landon McDonald, our former kid at Frontier High School.
Yeah, Landon's just having a great year, and that one's hit a long way, but it's foul.
Oh, boy, is it ever. My gosh, McDonald got all that, and he's looking up into the crowd as he knows that he was just a little early on that, but that might have headed out. He's got 14 home runs to lead the Renegades all-time as the all-time leading home run hitter here at BC.
That's a lot of years, too.
Yeah, that is a lot. Absolutely a lot of years.
I played here 55 years ago.
Has it been that long?
Yeah, it's been that long. Back about around 1970, line drive.
And they'll line out to the shortstop for McDonald, and he's going to go 0 for 4 today now. Guatani on the dot on that play. And so McDonald will go down here in the 8th inning for probably the last time today. He did get hit back in the 6th inning and got on base and got a chance to do a little bit of running and scored that run that put the Renegades ahead. So, Parker, hey, great to have you here on the broadcast again today.
What?
Talk to me about your time here at Bakersfield College.
Well, I was thinking a while ago, it's a whole lot different than it was back in my day. I mean, we used wooden bats. There was no such thing as metal bats back in those days. The fence, the pretty green fence that we have out there, that was ivy.
It was ivy, that's right, yeah.
Like Wrigley Field.
Yep.
We didn't have a clubhouse. We had to dress over by the gymnasium. We don't have lights. I don't think we had lights back then.
And by gymnasium, he means the Gil Bishop Sports Center, not the Renegade Athletic Complex that we have now that's brand new.
Yeah, so we had a long hike every day.
Yeah.
And our cars weren't nearly as nice as players today. Back in my day, if you had air conditioning, that was a luxury.
Absolutely. And Baird drives that one into right field, right through the gap, and he'll be on with a base hit and one out here in the bottom of the 8th. The second hit of the game for Brady Baird. Tell me about some of your teammates, some of the ones that we may know here in the community.
Well, some of you will remember Louis Diaz. He was a second baseman. He coached at Bakersfield High, and I think he was at maybe Stockdale. I can't remember. But he was a great ball player, hit over 400, was the Metropolitan Conference most valuable player, went to Northridge Division I. People remember Mark Hantz. Mark Hantz was from South High and went to BC and Fresno State, and he was an athletic director at Stockdale High. Great golfer. We had a lot of great pitchers. Blake Green, who's still in town, was the #1 pick, I think, in the country as in the supplemental draft back then. We had a lot of great players back then. Yeah,
Liam O'Reilly now up to bat for the first time today, filling in the designated hitter spot. Like I said, O'Reilly out of the lineup. He was formerly over at first base. So great to see Liam back in the game now. 1 ball, no strikes to O'Reilly, and that one fouled back, and the count's even at 1-1.
A player you'd remember would be Steve Lackey.
Love Steve Lackey, good guy.
He still subs at Frontier.
Yes, he does, and his grandkids are fantastic too. And it's always nice to kind of see Steve on a regular basis over at Frontier High School, and we get to converse with him every once in a while. It's great to see the two of you guys still friends after all these years.
A long time.
So 1-1 the count, one out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Renegades with a 5-4 lead, and O'Reilly at the plate. 1-1 the count. Here's the 1-1. Swung on and popped way up in the air. And going back for it. Bessemer gets waved off by the right fielder, Reed Farrell. And 2 away now. Boy, that was skied way up in the air. We kind of lost it because the clouds are about the same color as the baseball right now. And it didn't burn up on re-entry, which is good.
Yeah, that's always the outfielder's ball on a high pop fly like that. It's easier for him to come in than the second baseman to go back on it.
Yeah, absolutely. So a fly out for O'Reilly and 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th. And Santiago Blanco 0 for 3 today with 3 strikeouts. Really try to get something going here. Blanco, as I said earlier on the season, has the most strikeouts on this squad for the Renegades. And though you'd like to watch him get that bat really going, where he's really important, become very important for this Renegade squad is at the shortstop spot. And a timeout gets called. They'll reset the pitch clock. And I don't know what the official is signaling right now, unless timeout was called from the dugout, and he's marking that down. And that's something new, Parker, that you haven't really seen or talked about much is the pitch clock. I mean, there was nothing like that in your day. And now, we've had that here for about 3 or 4 seasons. And the pitch clock in Major League Baseball, fan or not fan?
Not a fan.
Oh.
I like it a little more the traditional way. It speeds it up a little bit, but it's not worth it.
So Santiago's going to go down for the 4th time today. And the Renegades still hanging on to a 5-4 lead as we head to the 9th. Back after this. Back for the top of the 9th inning as the Renegades cling to a 5-4 lead over the College of the Canyons Cougars. And coming up to bat, Liam Ostrom, Michael Hogan, and Joey Bessemer here for the top of the 9th inning. And it doesn't fare well for the Cougars because right now, between those 3 batters, they are 0 for 7. Wait, I'm wrong, and not anymore. They were 0 for 12 previously, until that base hit by Liam Ostrom. So that combined 0 for 12 is gone now. And Liam Ostrom with the leadoff hit here for the top of the 9th inning. Michael Hogan now up to bat. Hogan grounded out to second base and flew out to second. And then he walked after he got hit in the 5th inning and flew out, popped up to the catcher in the 7th. That one on the outside corner gets the call. And 0-1 the count. That one grounded over to third base. And a quick throw over to short to get the lead runner, and one away here in the top of the 9th. Smart play by Mora going after that lead runner, keeping him out of scoring position, and one away. And Bessemer now up to bat. He was hit in the 2nd inning and then walked in the 4th. Flew out to shortstop in the 5th inning and grounded out to short in the 7th. That went in the dirt, and the count's 1-0. One out here in the top of the ninth, a runner on first base. Bessemer at the plate. Weddle over to first base. Trying to hold Hogan. Here's the pitch. That one's going to be outside and in the dirt. And the count's 2-0. Right now, the thing that you want to avoid is walking that runner over to second base and loading them up with two, giving the opportunity to stay in this game when the Renegades definitely have the control of this one with the 5-4 lead. Back over to first base, trying to hold him on. Renegades have had pretty good control, and we've had a couple of games up here where we've seen not the Renegades necessarily, but their competitors throw the ball away over to first base on multiple occasions. BC has not had that problem as of late. Weddle with the delivery on the outside corner is going to get the strike, and the count gets even at 2-2. Correction on that, it's 2-1. Weddle looking in for the sign. That one driven into left field. Shaw back to get it. And two away. And the Cougars down to their last out now, with Jacob Bond coming to the plate. Bond walked in the second inning, then struck out in the fourth and sixth innings. Got a hit in the seventh. And looking over, it looks like they're going to pinch hit for Jacob Bond. So that's going to be number 44 coming in to pinch hit. Eddie Gutierrez. Gutierrez, 6'3", 280 pounds of human being. That's a big guy.
Of human being.
Yes, he is.
Okay.
Gutierrez batting .263 on the season. Has 2 home runs. And he's only struck out once. So they're bringing him in to put the ball in play. So he'll bat for Jacob Bond. As we wait for him to come over. Canyons down to their final out. Renegades clinging to a 5-4 lead.
Well, I tell you one thing, I am impressed. He walks in there like he means business.
Yeah, well, it's 6'3", 280 pounds. I'm pretty sure he does. Breaking ball on the inside corner. Here's the 1-0-1 pitch. And that one misses, and the count gets even at 1-1. Whittle looks over at first base, tried to hold the runner. Here's the delivery. That one fouled off out of play. And boy, that was a zinger. Just got over the dugout. And right over near the entrance, the ball's still rolling around a little bit. And the count's 1-2. And Gutierrez was surprisingly late on that pitch. And Weddle came with the fastball. Here's the 1-2. That one fouled back to the net. Boy, and if you're Weddle here, do you come with a changeup, or do you just try to put one in the dirt? I mean, a hard breaking ball that's low and in the dirt, or even just don't leave a hanging curve. That was going to be outside. Nice. That was a nice breaking ball, but couldn't get Gutierrez to bite on it. Two balls, two strikes, two out here in the top of the ninth. That one swung on and fouled off. And Gutierrez just hanging around. And the one thing you're worried about is that he's going to get his timing down and then put one over the wall. And granted, he only has 2 home runs on the season, but this is the time that you don't really want to see that guy.
Right.
When that guy shows up, everybody's in trouble. What with the 2-2 pitch inside, and that's just going to miss, and we're watching the umpire stare that one down. And Jason Smith kind of hung on to it for a second, hoping he was going to get the call. Full count to Eddie Gutierrez. And a lot of noise coming out of that Canyons dugout right now. And a runner and a ball's going to get popped up. Blanco back to cover it, and that's going to do it. And the Renegades hang on to get the 5-4 win over College of the Canyons. And boy, I'll tell you what an outrageous game today. A couple of lead changes and a couple of things that we didn't think were going to happen did happen. Your thoughts, Julian Wilson?
Again, no kidding. I can only repeat what you just said. What a wild game and outcome today. Didn't know which way it was going to go, but exciting, and we didn't get rained out.
We didn't get rained out. The Renegades trailed 1-0 after the first inning, but then managed to kind of come back, keep it going. Got caught back up 4-4 on that tie in the 7th, and then managed to get a run on and score to take the 5-4 lead and hang on as they improve on the season now, 6-5 in conference play, and improve to 15-15 in total. The Canyons Cougars will fall to 11-19 and 4-7 in conference play. So on behalf of everybody here at Bakersfield College, this has been Tom Myers on behalf of the Dr. Julian Wilson and our cameraman, Gio General. We'll see you next time, everybody.